The Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, which has seen its fair share of injuries this season, is dealing with another potential issue on that front ahead of a monumental Week 14 clash with the Baltimore Ravens. Safety Kyle Dugger was listed as a non-participant on the Steelers' second injury report of the week with a hand injury. He was not on the team's initial report of the week, and there's now some concern about his availability for a road contest versus Baltimore that could ultimately end up deciding the winner of the AFC North amidst a tight race at the top of the division that's seen both the Steelers and Ravens go 6-6 through their first 12 contests of the season. Dugger's Steelers tenure. A second-round pick by the New England Patriots out of Lenoir in the 2020 NFL Draft, Dugger never quite fit in after the organization hired Mike Vrabel as its next head coach this past offseason. Despite the fact that Dugger agreed to a 4-year extension worth $58 million with New England ahead of the 2023 campaign, he played just 44% of the team's defense snaps when available this year before being sent to Pittsburgh alongside a 2026 seventh-round pick in exchange for a 2026 sixth-rounder ahead of the trade deadline. The 29-year-old, who has started 69 contests during his NFL career, immediately became a key piece of the Steelers' defense amidst a slew of injuries at the safety position. Dugger has formed quite the tandem with Jalen Ramsey as the last line of defense for Pittsburgh, logging 23 tackles with a pick-six in 354 snaps across 5 games thus far. How Dugger's injury could impact Pittsburgh. Dugger's status for this weekend's game against the Ravens won't officially be known until the final injury report is released. In a world where he either doesn't end up playing or has his snap count limited to some extent, Chuck Clark and Jabril Peppers would likely step up in his place. Clark has appeared in 10 games for the Steelers this year and started 4 of them. Over that span, he's recorded 39 tackles with a forced fumble. He's played exclusively on special teams over the last 2 weeks, however. Peppers, who was Dugger's running mate 2022 to 2024 for parts of 3 seasons in New England, has not seen the field on defense since Week 8. The Steelers also have undrafted rookie Sebastian Castro on their active roster after reacquiring him off waivers from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in early November, but he too has only appeared on special teams in his 3 contests back in Pittsburgh thus far. The Pittsburgh Steelers, armed with a 6-6 record heading into Week 14, find themselves at a very important point in the season. While the team has struggled as of late, they could take control of the AFC North by picking up a win over the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday afternoon. If they lose, though, the calls for the team to fire head coach Mike Tomlin will only grow louder. Amid the team's recent freefall, Tomlin has taken quite a bit of heat from fans, and deservedly so. However, given his long-standing relationship with the Steelers, reports have indicated that the team has no plans to fire him anytime soon. According to one NFL insider, though, Pittsburgh still could find itself moving on from Tomlin if one specific scenario ends up unfolding. How Mike Tomlin and the Steelers could part ways. Tomlin is in his 19th season coaching the Steelers, and he's enjoyed a great deal of success with the team. Pittsburgh has never had a losing season under Tomlin's lead, and he has led the franchise to a pair of Super Bowl championships during his time in charge. The problem is that, over the last few years, success has been hard to come by for the Steelers. In 2025, the front office made it clear they were going all in this season, as they loaded up on experienced veterans that they believed would help the team make another title run. While things got off to a solid start, the team has begun falling apart, and it seems as if Tomlin simply has no answers when it comes to fixing Pittsburgh's laundry list of issues. Rumors have begun to emerge suggesting that if Tomlin can't right the ship, he could get fired over the offseason, but they have quickly been shot down. However, per NFL insider Ian Rappaport, there's still a chance Tomlin could not be back with the Steelers in 2026, but it would have to be his decision to move on from the team. Mike Tomlin is not going to get fired by the Pittsburgh Steelers, Rappaport said on NFL Game Day. It is not going to happen based on his success, based on his relationship with Art Rooney and the organization. If Tomlin is not the coach of the Steelers in 2026, my understanding is it would be because that is what he wants. What should the Steelers do with Mike Tomlin? At some point, all good things must come to an end, and it feels like the luster of Tomlin's stint in charge of the Steelers has been gone for several years now. The team has never come close to moving on from Tomlin, though, despite his recent mixed results. This season is the first time things have felt truly up in the air when it comes to Tomlin's future with the team, but for now, the two sides seem blindly devoted to one another. There's still a chance Tomlin could help Pittsburgh turn things around the season, but it seems more likely the team misses the playoffs entirely at this stage of the game. If that does happen, serious questions will need to be asked about his future with the team. But when push comes to shove, it seems more likely than not that Tomlin will once again be in charge of the Steelers once the 2026 season rolls around. Mike Tomlin takes his Pittsburgh Steelers team into Sunday's NFL showdown against Baltimore Ravens with intensifying scrutiny over his future as the head coach of the organization. The highly regarded Tomlin, 53, has led the Steelers for 18 seasons, and while the team haven't won a playoff game since 2016, Pittsburgh have never had a losing season under Tomlin's guidance. But they are 6-6 heading into the Ravens clash, another playoff-chasing rival as the regular season enters the final stretch, and there are rumblings of discontent among the ardent fanbase over how things have panned out this season. As ESPN reports, while Tomlin has 2 years left on his current deal, the 2027 campaign is on the table as a team option. They will not fire Tomlin, whatever happens for the rest of 2025, but both Tomlin and the team are facing some big decisions. The Steelers must decide about activating that final year by March 1, 2026. The front office will conduct meetings after the 2025 campaign ends to consider whether they will keep Tomlin until 2027. Should they decide not to, it puts the team in a potentially risky position. The Steelers haven't fired a head coach since 1968, so theoretically, Tomlin would then enter the final year of his deal with everyone knowing he is going to leave. Mike Tomlin's future as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers is under growing scrutiny. The future of the quarterback position, currently occupied by Aaron Rodgers, is one of many. When the Steelers lost 26-7 to the Buffalo Bills last weekend, fans in Pittsburgh started to chant for him to get fired, but ESPN says that it isn't something that Tomlin's bosses are considering. Tomlin also has a no-trade deal in his contract, which makes the potential for the Steelers to move him on a lot harder. He could, of course, choose to waive it. Furthermore, the Steelers' quarterback is 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Many expect him to retire after this season. He's on a 1-year deal in Pittsburgh, so Tomlin would potentially oversee the first year of the team's new quarterback before leaving. But should Tomlin, Rodgers, and the Steelers find a renewed sense of momentum and reach the postseason, it would make any decision about the future a lot more straightforward. As one source told me, if the Steelers just win today, all this probably goes away, NFL insider Ian Rappaport said Sunday morning on NFL Game Day. The Steelers' schedule is a mixed bag from here. They take on the Miami Dolphins after the Ravens, followed by Detroit Lions and Cleveland Browns. They then round out the regular season back against the Ravens in Pittsburgh.